Alright, what is going on, guys? My name is AJ Plays and I am back with another video about a month later from the last one. As you can probably hear, it's a bit more echoey in here than normal. That is because everything has been evacuated from this room. Me and my dad are now getting ready to kind of redecorate everything. So the dungeon's going to take some new forms. I guess the dungeon's the canonical name for this place now. But yeah, so we've got some remodeling to do. So over the next couple of months or so, I probably won't be making videos. In fact, it'll probably be another good few months. Also, I don't know, maybe another couple of months or something before the next one, because decorating takes a long time. Anyway, I'm back today, so there we go. This is good news for you, and I guess just a continuation of this channel kind of thing. So we've only got 4 this time. I haven't gone mad this month, thankfully. So we've only got 4 to go through, but I think these 4 are arguably some of the better ones I've got. So, as you may have seen in the title, all Rival. Now, for those of you who don't know what Rival is, allow me to show you with the Kronos. This is, I can't remember the name for this colour scheme. So Rival initially started off as like the whole thing of red versus blue, you know. You see it in shooters all the time, or that kind of thing. And then they kind of broke off into this kind of rebel white variation that you can have flags to kind of define a colour if you couldn't get it out. If you couldn't get one, I think this is like the Spec Ops or something. I don't know. All I know is this is a 5-shot rifle pistol. So you pull that back. If you haven't got any rounds in there, you flip that up. You put your rounds in, you slam that shut, you slam that shit forward, and you pull the trigger, and it fires a ball. And you can do that 5 times before you've got to reload. And then you can tell when it's out because it sounds like this. That's loud as hell. I got this thing fairly cheap. I think it was about 10-15 quid off eBay or something. I did have to buy rounds separately, even though it included rounds when I got it. But you know, this kind of thing, it's a breech, so you know it makes a seal around the ball. It kind of needs the proper texture kind of thing. But you know, I don't blame the person who sold it to me. I don't really care particularly. You know, I was stocking up on munitions anyway. But yeah, so this is the Kronos. We've got 2 Rival rails on the top, 1 on the actual thing itself, and then 1 on the priming grip, which seems severely counterproductive. But you know, it's one of them. It's got a 5-round internal mag housed in there. It's got a safety only on the left hand side, which you can you can flick it on with your thumb, you can't really flick it off. It's kind of a harsher thing. So down is safe, up is ready to fire. So this thing is solid. The grip as well is just really comfortable. The dovetail on this thing is incredible, and it's just a really smooth kind of, it's just a comfortable grip. You know, a comfy grip when you feel it. Trigger pull, there's a little bit of take up, a little bit, and then the pop. I don't think this thing has slam fire. No, okay, so it doesn't like that. So it doesn't have slam fire, but it's a 5-shot pistol. If you had slam fire on this thing, you know, it wouldn't last you very long. So yeah, no interchangeable mag or anything. I don't see that as an issue. The prime weight, however, because it's not a lot to grip on, is fairly heavy, but it's kind of in line with the rest of Rival stuff. It's meant to be like a higher power thing anyway. On the back, you have prime indication. So it glows yellow when it's primed and goes black when it's not. You also have an unjamming button, so when you've primed it, you're not supposed to be able to prime it again. You pull that down, you can pull it back, shotgun load, whatever you want to do, and then give it a clunk, push that back forward. So yeah, this thing, compact for 5 shots, it's solid. It does have a hop up in there to make the Rival shoot a bit better. Spins decently. I've not really, yeah, okay, it's gonna go up. I'm not the best at spinning, I'll admit. But yeah, if you can find this for cheap, especially if you can find like genuine rounds with it, very solid little thing. Yeah, very nice. Get it. Next up, Atlas. Rival Atlas. Janky reload. Kind of like a P90 kind of thing. 12 round mag. Put dip, slam, slam. I'm going to go through the features first and then I'm going to show you what it is. So we got tack rail at the top with a dinky flip up sight, which isn't very useful. Muzzle brake, pump grip, jam door, which is a big boy jam door, which shows the mechanism off. And weird thing, you can prime and fire this thing with the jam door open, which isn't normal, I don't think, but you know, it's one of them. We got catch release switch right here. We got a push through safety, so when it's through on that side, you can't pull the trigger, and then when it's like half and half, trigger pulls just fine. Mag release is a tad weird. You got to pull these forward and push the mag back, kind of real steel P90-esque. You got a sling mount in the back, and you got the prime indicator. Obviously, like the Chronos, yellow when primed, like kind of black when not. However, I'll just show you through the window here. Look at that, 2 balls. Do you want to know why? Because, hold on, it is kind of jerk to get the mag out, but you get used to it. That's now 2 balls down. This is a shotgun. This is a double shooter. This is a shotgun. A Rival shotgun. Now I know, like the Saturn and the Takedown are both shotgun-esque. They're more like a slug, whereas this is a fucking double up kind of buckshot kind of thing. Where it's, so the 2 rounds are behind each other, so I don't actually know shotgun terminology, but I'm guessing it's a buckshot. I have no idea. But yeah, I got this thing fairly cheap. It came in red and blue. I have the red version, as you can see, and it is a solid performer. I'm not going to try and fire this thing, because I actually want this thing to survive a decent amount of time. Jam issues, not very common, from my experience anyway. I haven't really had much of an amount of time to kind of properly mess around with this thing. But overall, solid performance, solid everything. If you can find this thing for a good price, I mean, it's a 2-shot shotgun. It's a 6-shot shotgun. You know I like shotguns. You know I like stupid shit. And fuck me, does this thing look stupid. But yeah, that's the Rival Atlas. I recommend you find this one. This one's good. And moving on to number 3 of 4. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce my first flywheeler in the Rival line. This bad boy is the Rival Charger. Now, internal magazine. Cool internal mag. Flywheel. So you pull the trigger and then you pull the red and then the thing goes. So 12 round internal magazine. Slam the door. I think it's 6C batteries in there. It's either 6 or 4. I can't quite remember. You've got a jam door up front, very tiny jam door, but you know, you're only chambering something tiny anyway. And this is, by the looks of it, it's a bullpup, but technically it's not, because the loading mechanism just, and I mean just in front, so the loading mech's there. It's just in front of the grip, so technically it's not a bullpup, but it is also technically a bullpup because of the fucking mag being behind you. This thing's balance is kind of janky, with the massive amount of batteries in the back. You know, it's one of those things where the balance is kind of off, but everything feels, it's balanced fine, it's weighted fine, kind of thing. You got safety down the bottom, so forward, you can rev and fire. Back, you cannot even pull the rev trigger. Obviously, as I said it earlier, jam door up front, dirty big block of the foregrip. You got a tiny little Rival rail on top, as well as some fat sides, which I don't know if I can get a shot of. Come on, there you go. Some chunky front sides, I love it. Grip is surprisingly good for a thumbhole stock. I like thumbhole stocks. I don't really see the problem with them, but you know, it's one of them. Some people like it, some people don't. I mean, you can, the length of pull is, I don't know, that for me, that's perfect. That is the perfect length of pull, because the stock it just immediately goes to my shoulder and my face is just perfectly flat, kind of thing. But you know, it's one of them things where you feel like you can feel the comfort. I'm barely hunched over it or anything, and it is great. So you load up, pull that back, tilt it back, load your rounds, push that forward, rev and fire. They're ready to fire good. So, as you heard, spin up time, fairly slow. Running on, again, I think it's either 4 or 6, I can't quite remember. I can't be asked to screw it because that would take forever. But, you know, it's like a normal flywheeler, you know, you pull your rev trigger and then you... So these do have motor stops, which is good. Because the flywheels are literally right there. So if you pulled that open and stuck your finger in really quick, you could probably stretch yourself. But you know, as you heard, the rate of fire you can get off with this thing is basically second to none. But you know, if you can find this thing for cheap, do I recommend you get it? I just have one question for you. Are you a fan of flywheelers? Do you like having to use a shit ton of batteries? If you don't like batteries, don't fucking bother. But do I recommend it from my point of view? Do I recommend you get it? Yeah, fuck it, go for it. And the final one, the one I had to wait for an additional rounds pack to half fill. I'm still waiting for a 50 reload pack to turn up. Yes, I said 50. because this thing is the rival Hades. This is a 60 round internal magazine pump action Springer that feeds clockwise through 3 magazines, fires out of the bottom barrel, stores these ones at the top, hits ridiculously hard, and hold the trigger down, prime it, push it forward. It even has slam fire. Do I really need to sell you more on that thing? This thing? Anything else? Yes? Okay. So, for this thing, we have a brick of a foregrip. And I do mean a fucking brick of a foregrip. Look at this thing. That is a brick of a vertical foregrip, and I just love this. Trigger pull. If I can just do this real quick. There is next to no takeoff on that. And then it's a very crisp, very clean trigger pull. There's not a lot of wiggle, or something I have noticed. Push the grip all the way forward. It wiggles back. You can see the gap in my hand there, kind of. I don't know if that's just mine that does that, but I just find that ridiculous. Butt plate stock, so it's flat. The length of pull on this thing for me is basically the same, if not, no, slightly shorter than the Charger. But because of the size of this behemoth, my shoulder never goes on the actual butt plate. My face usually just ends up kind of like that, and I've got like the sling loop or something fucking stuck into my side. But yeah, so this thing is solid. It's basic manual of arms. Pull that down, lock it back, load in 60 rounds, slam it forward, prime it back, fire away. We've got a dual side safety, so it's on both sides. Down, can't pull the trigger, up, trigger can be pulled. It's got a massive thumb hole stock, sling loop on the back for sling, something like that. Very smooth kind of back here, which is usually where your face ends up. So it's nice, it's good that it's smooth and all that kind of thing. You've got reprime switch only on the left hand side, obviously to clear out a jam or something, so you can reprime it. Rival rail on the top, which is kind of counterproductive because as soon as you go to reload this thing, your rail is broken in half. But you know, and this one was not released in red or blue. This one came as a part of the later, again I think it's Spec Ops or something. I'll have it in the description or in a pinned comment or something. Yeah, I think it might be Spec Ops. It's not Ghost Ops, I don't think. Oh, it might be actually. No, that was Elite. Anyway. So yeah, this thing is an absolute unit. It was $70, about 70, 80 quid when it came out in 2018. I got this for 35. Also, I think, is that a priming indicator? Yes, it is. So, priming indicator is in the middle. So, orange when primed, and then you can see through when not primed, kind of thing. This I'd only recommend for a heavy gunner. you know, if you're the person that kind of just, I don't know, like dumps ammo into the field basically, this thing's for you. Other than that, I wouldn't really recommend this, because it is big, it is heavy, not as heavy as the Charger, but it's still fucking heavy because of the size of this thing, god damn. But anyway, so yeah, would I recommend the Hades? Probably only if you like carrying around units of Nerf guns. If you're kind of more of the smaller guy, so you can, you know, run quick, you're probably going to want like either a Kronos or I don't know, Heracles or whatever the fuck, or something, or just something smaller than this thing. They did make a 30 round version, which was around half the size. The Artemis, it cuts off about here, I believe, and it is just a smaller unit altogether. But nah, if you're going for big capacity internal and you don't want to be changing mags all the time, this beast, this is it. And that concludes this video. So this was quicker than normal because there was only 4 to look at this time instead of like 6 or 7 or whatever the fuck. So yeah, as I said in the beginning, this is probably going to be, there's probably going to be a big gap between this video and the next one, again because of decoration. I'm moving on to storage bins for all of these now instead of just strewn them across the floor, because there was no space anywhere for that. And this is my bedroom as well as the Nerf dungeon, so there we go. Although the next video I do make in here is probably going to be a lot quieter because we'll have like painted everything, carpet's going to go down, all that kind of thing. So it's not going to be as echoey. There's going to be probably more stuff in here, but you know, I digress. If you guys did like this video, please leave a like, comment. If you know of anything you want, if you know of any Nerf guns you want me to try and get my hands on, then I'll do that. You know, and I'll put them in a video and I'll give my opinion. I'll, you know, kind of like what I just did. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of crazy. So yeah, we are coming up. Oh god, I don't know what year anniversary of this channel. I think 4th next month. Is it the next month or like early January? I think it's next month. 4-year anniversary, guys. That is fucking insane. Yeah, I'll probably make a non-Nerf video to address that nearer the time, because it's a whole thing. It's a whole story. There's projects that have kind of gone on the back burner, then come off, and then gone back on. There's things I've wanted to do that I haven't been able to, all that kind of thing. And I guess I'll go into that closer to the time of the anniversary kind of thing. But anyway, guys, I will leave you with the ending of this video. And should I do the spiel again? Probably not. Anyway, guys, thanks for sticking around, and I will see you all when the dungeon is complete, and I will see you all in the next one.